neighborhood, and welcome back to Warframe Wednesday. So, we're gonna make another attempt at doing this through Streamlabs and through using the computer, even with the issues I've been experiencing over the last week or so. But as it stands, I think we should be in pretty solid shape. At any rate, the target for today's Warframe Wednesday episode is going to be a peculiar sort. But for those of you who for those of you who are just barely getting into the game and are seeing this Warframe for the first time, I'll be sure to explain it to you. Give me just a brief moment. It looks like I'll have to. It looks like I'll have to redo the microphone settings for the closed captioner. Hold on. Now, I feel like I could just. Uh, I should have. I really should have. There we go. Okay. So, as I was mentioning earlier, today's target Warframe is going to be very much outside the norm compared to the others. Let me jump back to the arsenal and actually switch them up. Allow me to introduce Nidus. Hey, what's good, Andre? Good to see you. Alright, so, a little bit of lore for you, excuse me, for those who haven't quite dug into Warframe. Of the different factions that are in play, out of the different factions that are in play, the one that I guess you could say is the most neutral of the bunch is the Infested, or the Infestation. All it exists to do is consume everything in its path and assimilate what it consumes. The infestation was originally created as a bioweapon, and that bioweapon research is part of what into developing the Warframes as they are. Now, while Excalibur may be the first of the Warframes, Nidus could be considered the closest to the source material. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the relay so that way I can show you what this guy's all about. Now, take note. Remote play is really doing a number on me. Now, take note. Even with as many hours as I've put in, even though I've already ranked up to Mastery rank 18, this is still surface level stuff. This is still the info that I'm providing is here to get new players invested, to get new players interested. Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't want to go to navigation. This is where I wanted to go. Okay. So now that that's done, let's get to it. Now, the first thing I'm sure you're going to notice about Nidus is take a look in the upper right at his health. You'll notice very quickly no shields. Nidus is I want to say, one of two Warframes on the roster that don't use shields. It's all about it's all about his health pool. So the higher you can boost that, the better the survivability. But since he doesn't have shields, it's his health that'll constantly regenerate. Now, as far as Nidus's passives go, he's got two that you're going to be keeping in mind as you play. The first involves the little counter down near the lower right. That's where you'll build up what are called mutation stacks. Basically, the more you hit enemies with Nidus's first, well, especially with Nidus's first ability, the more you hit enemies with that, the further Nidus's infestation mutates. And that mutation thus increases the strength of his abilities, changes his appearance. And on top of that, if you have at least 15 mutation stacks and you take fatal damage, you'll use up those stacks to actually revive with, I want to say, half of Nidus's health, and you'll be invulnerable for 5 seconds if you need that time to escape or recover. So those are the basics as far as his passives go. Let's get right down to his abilities. The first of which, actually I'll go ahead and target this group over here. The first of Nidus's abilities, the one that you get right out of the box, Virulence. Now, Virulence is interesting in that, firstly, it costs more energy to cast than most others' beginning abilities. But you'll see, I hit, looks like 3 enemies with Virulence. So you'll see the little different stacks right there, the little different charges. The more enemies you hit with Virulence, the more charges it builds up to the point where you start actually building mutation stocks. It's it's decent as far as damage goes, but again, you really want to use it just to build up the mutation. But there's one other added bonus to Virulence. Actually, I think that's only with the mod. But basically, if you use the mod Teaming Virulence, oh no, I take that back. It's without the mod. So, that makes it that much easier. Basically, if you use Virulence and you hit enough enemies with it, you'll pretty much make back the energy that you've spent. So if you've got 4 enemies or more in a cluster or in that or along that line of sight and you tag them with that, it's practically like you'll be casting it for free. So, for each enemy hit, you recover 10 energy, right? You got to hit 4 enemies to basically make back what you've spent. If you hit more, then you'll wind up with more energy than you spent. And on top of that, of course, every enemy you hit builds up the mutation charge. I'm sure you see where I'm going with this. Virulence is what it's all about. That's going to be your go-to no matter what rank you've got your Nidus at. Nidus's second ability, once you get him to rank 3, that's going to make it even easier to build up the mutation stocks. And that is Larva. Kind of gross, right? But the larva pulls in any enemies that are in range up to, I want to say, 4, maybe 5. And when you kill every enemy that's held inside the larva, it detonates for additional damage. But it gets better. Because again, with larva, you've got crowd control. And with that crowd control, you can cast Virulence to build up your stocks quickly and literally recover all the energy that you spent on the others. On the other abilities. And now that you've got all those lovely mutation stocks just sitting there, burning a hole in your pocket, you get to rank 5, and you earn his third ability, which is the first of them that doesn't use energy, but uses up mutation stocks. Parasitic Link. Parasitic Link transfers any damage done to you to the enemy that you have linked. But what's more, if you use Virulence, the linked enemy will also use it in the direction they're facing. Sorry, it won't be in the direction they're facing. It'll be aimed towards your target. So if you're aiming at them from a different angle, you've basically got crossed paths, which allows you to build up even more stacks, which allows you to constantly ramp up that mutation counter even higher. In short, Parasitic Link is pretty dope. But then again, so is Virulence, so is Larva. And once you get Nidus to rank 10, and you have more than 3 mutation stocks ready to go, then you can cast this ability right here. Ravenous. It basically generates a field of infestation that causes little infested maggots to show up on the field and start attacking your opponents. After a certain point, or if you cast Virulence on them, they detonate for additional damage. And every time they detonate, it built up the mutation stock even further. Long story short, the name of the game is building up, is evolving Nidus's mutation. Building it up so even though you may want to use those stacks, like even though you may want to use the mutation charges, keeping a hold of them means that any abilities you do utilize are even stronger. Get what I'm going for here? Now, like I said, even though Nidus is unique in how his resources are used and how excuse me and how his abilities tie together compared to other Warframes, what it really all comes down to is it's basically one of those things where if the stronger the opponents you're facing off against, the stronger you can actually build up Nidus to be mid combat. Also, quick heads up, the maximum amount of charges that you can build up on the mutation counter is 100. And at that point, the counter just goes completely hidden and it gets, overrun. And I guess when you really put it like that, on just on the surface level, I think that'll actually do it for Nidus's abilities. Excuse me. Now, yeah, you can totally add mods to Nidus to, you know, like you can totally add mods to Nidus to build up, the damage that his abilities can do. But really, it's more about, I'd say it's really more about duration. Sorry, not duration. It's more about range, really. It's more about range and efficiency because the greater your range, the more enemies you can pull in. The more enemies you can pull in, the greater the area that you can lay down for the little maggot generation, the further off you can actually. It's like the further off you can actually link to enemies. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more about how much you can hit because the more you're able to contact, the harder you'll be able to hit as a result. Anyway. Oh, and that's one other thing I forgot to mention about parasitic link. You can link to allies as well, and any allies you link to, they can they will they'll have the same property where they cast virulence when you do. But on top of that, as you can see, you get greater damage increase and damage reduction on your allies. Now, the augment mod that I was referring to earlier, teaming virulence, what that basically does is, when you hit enough enemies, like when you hit 4 enemies, not only will you get the amount of energy you use to cast it back, but it'll also grant it'll also grant additional crit chance to your primary firearm for, like with this, for example, it's up to 15 seconds. So let's see, for example, with this, with Phantasma, what's the crit chance on that? Percent? Not great, but I'm using it for a different reason. However, if I was using a weapon that had closer to like a 50 or 65% chance of crits, then teaming virulence would be perfect. You know what? Ooh, excuse me. I think I will switch him out for. I think I will switch it out to modify for that instead. So now I've practically doubled my range. Oh wait, I've already got a range build. So let me put transient fortitude back on that. Okay, so this loadout is specifically suited for damage. This one right here is specifically suited for range. Like, hey, what's good, Chop? Now, this right here is the Warframe that I was using, last week when I mentioned, going into a mission and just getting in practice and accidentally doing a 30-minute survival run. Now, I don't think I'm going to go that far with it, but actually, yeah, this would be the perfect mission. Yeah, I'm not going to go that far with. I'm not going to go that far with the, with the survival run. Excuse me. But let me give you a quick idea as to what Nidus can do under live fire. Look at him. All these mooks just waiting to get trapped up. And there we go. All right, let me get to a good spot. Here we go. Now, it's not so much a bottleneck here, but just watch as I basically lead these enemies on something of a merry chase. And since I've got the range now, look at all that. And I've already got 5 mutation stocks. Excuse me. And I've already got 5 mutation stocks now, so that's where we cast Ravenous and then just watch the maggots do their thing. Now take note. Uh, doesn't look like she is. But now, take note. With all the damage and everything that I've been able to do with these abilities, I've yet to actually use any of my firearms. Okay, we've got the extra life support. Ooh, I'm down to like 54%. So yeah, basically, so long as you at least have Nidus's first two abilities, even without mods, you'll be a tough customer to beat. And that's really the point. You can basically build this guy without shields. You can build this guy to be a tank. He'll be able to take just as much damage and hit just as hard. Okay. Next life support capsule's over this way. So let's get everybody over here, and there we go. As it stands, it really doesn't matter how hard these guys hit me. I'll basically be able to make up that damage in spades, and it's like I'll be able to make up that damage in spades in terms of recovery, and dishing it out just it's grisly, but it's awesome. Hey, what's good, Mo? Good to see you. Now, with all of this, with everything that I've done thus far, my health has barely dipped below 900. And if not topped off, I've been able to keep my I've been able to keep my energy stores pretty high. Now, on survival missions, when you stick around for longer than the life support lasts, it'll start draining your health. But with this guy, you can actually set it up to where you can continue fighting for long after the life support's drained. Now, if we're going for a thematic loadout with Nidus, then yeah, as you can see, I've gone basically with every single infestation based or infestation looking weapon that I could get my hands on. I guess you could say that even with as unique as Nidus is as a Warframe, now that I really look at it, his abilities are still pretty straightforward. And the remote play link is just really struggling. Alright, I think I know what I'm going to need to do after this stream is over, that's for sure. But, speaking of which, one thing I want to do is fill you guys in on what's going on with the Patreon. Now, again, I've only got the one patron thus far, but the big thing about the Patreon is that what I've basically got it set up to do is to help support me as not only as I do more streams, but also as I get back into doing written and video reviews. Perhaps once I get things taken care of with the computer, I'll be able to do just that more efficiently. But I will say this. The first review that I'm going to be working on will be a comprehensive backlog review for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, you've already heard my thoughts on the game. You've already seen me play the game a ton. But I haven't really, I guess, put everything together in the context of the big question. That question being whether or not old classics can be in remade in the current generation and how they'll stack up to similar games that are already on the market. But yeah, my plan is to definitely do that with Final Fantasy VII and also with two games that I just recently acquired, both of them on Steam. One being the wonderful 101 Remastered, and two being Streets of Rage 4. So with that being said, let's get back and do just a little bit more gameplay to really try and tap into what Nidus can do as a frame. Alright, I need a good... Oh yeah. Okay, so level 30, level 30 to level 40 mission. We're going to take him in, and we're going to see just how well he can do surviving there. Fun times abound. And again, it's just going to be another 5-minute run because I don't want the stream to run too long. And also, for anyone that may have missed it last week, the Warframe Wednesday stream covering Trinity, covering the combat medic of the group. Ooh, it's already 9:27. So yeah, that stream should be up on YouTube right now. Okay, we had the lights flickering already. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright. Have to make sure I can keep from taking too much fire, because these guys can still do damage. Oh crap, I don't have enough energy for that. It seems now I do. Oh wait, I don't have adaptation on this build. Okay, life support capsules that way. Think I know where I need to go then. Now, more than anything, I at least want to get myself to a point where I can generate those 15 mutation stacks. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, as you can see, even with higher level difficulty enemies, if you're basically able to keep from taking too much damage all at once and really get a good setup for your second ability, and then follow up with your ability 1 on top of that, you'll have yourself a fairly consistent and fairly solid offense and defense. Okay, I'm at 12. That puts me to 13. 14. Almost there. And there's my 15. Jake, what's good, buddy? Alright. Let's keep this up. Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. Still hasn't updated yet? And have you already messaged the official Twitter to try and get some answers on that? Ugh. And considering the whole situation from yesterday, that radio silence doesn't help matters. Okay, life support there. Let's pull those guys in. Oh. There we go. look at that. Like, I've been taking some pretty serious damage. I've been taking some pretty serious damage, but it's literally been at a point where even without the damage decrease from adaptation, these guys haven't really been able to bring me down. Oh, and you know what? We'll cast that too. No, you don't want to climb in that turret. Stop that. Now, the missus and I have affectionately taken to calling this particular Warframe Space AIDS. I'm sure now you understand why. Oh, would you look at that? My health dipped below 700. For the first time since starting this mission. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. What do I think? I think she looks like she'll be just as much fun as she was back in Samurai Showdown 6. I think the whole controversy with killjoys that haven't even played the game since like 2 or 3 updates ago. I think that whole controversy is just absolutely fucking stupid. And yeah, that silhouette super of hers, that's the same one she had in Samurai Showdown 6. Like, like I said, she looks like she'll be a lot of fun. Oh, oh, no. That Space Cthulhu horseshit was my doing. I know, right? Oh, here we go. over here! Alright, so I'm at what? 35 stocks? Yeah, I should be able to survive. Alright. Oh, there's a doggo right there. Okay, looks like I've got a couple more glass enemies to deal with. Ow, something knocked me down. Oh no. Okay, wonder if I should go ahead and... wonder if I should go ahead and bail. Actually, I need to head back this way if I'm going to do that. Okay, looks like I'm going to need to find myself some cover for a few seconds. Or if nothing else, keep moving. Okay, we're down to 20%. There we go. That's better. Additional life support. Plus the health recovery. Oh, there's one more life support capsule back this way. Let me get that. Alright, we've got more and more life support, and... oh wait, I need to go up that way to get to extraction. Don't I? Oh, Extraction is this way. And crap, I'm back to 400. Oh, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Ooh, okay. Y'all got me. I'm almost impressed. Almost. And that right there is all she wrote. Ugh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to get in some work on this computer because it's just causing the remote play link to stutter like mad. I also need to find that USB Type-C cable for the capture card too. Don't know if that's really going to help matters. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and drop stream for today. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's been another great Warframe Wednesday, and hopefully for any rookies watching this, or for anyone looking to get back into the game, hopefully this will give you more ideas as to what Warframes you want to go for and what kinds of builds you want to hit. So, until the latest stream today, y'all have yourselves a top-notch Wednesday. Stay good, neighborhood.